Good. Just thinking back to what I said a few seconds ago about legato bass and dragging the bass. I'm the same as everybody else, do tend to drag the bass for effect at times, especially when you're doing a waltz. So if you're playing a bass chord, only 3 beats in the bar, such as like in a Strauss waltz or something like that, you could start off playing, but for effect it's nice to go in its simplest form. So it's nice to drag that bass button. Occasionally gives you a little bit of a lift, but not all the time. I prefer my pupils to play staccato all the time to begin with, so they can get in the habit of playing it nice and staccato, nice and bright. Okay, so that's just one row. That's your C and your C major chord. If you go up towards the ceiling, one button up, so if you move your ring finger and your middle finger up one button, then we come to the G and the G major chord. Sounds like this. Okay, so that's your G and your G major. Now there are several ways of playing this. The classical way of playing it is if you're in your root key, which we're playing in C being your basic chord. If you go up with your ring finger and your middle, to go up to G, you'd use your middle and your index finger, 3 and 2. So it would be like this. And as you see, you go up to the G with the different fingers. And then when we eventually go down 1, instead of going up, we go down 1, that is your F. The classical way, the way I was taught, is to go down with your little pinky, your little finger here, and play 5, 4, 4, 4. So you'd have your C with your 4th and your 3rd, your G with your 3rd and your 2nd, and go back to your C again with 4 and 3, and then 5 and 4. It's a good idea to do that because it gets all your fingers, especially little fingers on both hands. They don't really do a lot in life, and it's hard to train it to do things. They just don't want to move at all. If you're playing classical music where you're going to be doing lots of runs, lots of solos, lots of scales on the bass hand, it's handy if you can get this little finger to work, which is the reason why we tend to teach right from the beginning playing the chords. Having said that, once you start playing your minor row, so there's your G, so there's your C, if you go up to your G with the fingers that we're taught to use, if you start playing minors and 7ths and diminished and you've still got that finger there, it's too much of a stretch. So once you start playing your minor row and your 7th row and your diminished row, then you're using that ring finger again, that 4th finger that you would normally use on the C, you're using it on the G. So you can be playing and playing the 7th. You try playing that with that finger. I can't do it. It's more difficult, so you're better off using your 4th. So what I'm trying to say is, I could teach you to use all your fingers, but within a few weeks you're going to be knocking those fingers into touch, and you're going to be playing with your 4th finger anyway on this fundamental row. So really, I know it's bad of me to say, it's up to you which way you want to learn. You can either learn by playing with that finger all the time, or by changing your fingers, using your little fingers as you go down. For this lesson, I'm just going to use the 4th finger. Okay, so what we're going to do again is we're going to play the bass, the C and the C major for 2 bars. Then we're going to go to the G and the G major for 2 bars. I'll show you what I mean quickly. G. Okay, so we'll try that slowly together. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3. Change your bellows up to G. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And we'll go down again, changing, pulling out. C. And G. Okay, good. So, that's your C. If you go up one button, it's a G. There's your C. If you go down one button, it's the note of F and F major. So again, we could go down with our little finger. If you wanted to get that little finger working, that's fine. But in this lesson, we're just going to go down with our 4th again. So this time we're going to do 2 bars on the C, 2 bars on the F, and then 2 bars on the C again. Okay, after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. C, chord, chord, chord again. C, chord, chord, chord. Coming in, F. And C again. And F. Okay, so we've learnt our buttons C, C major, G, G major, and F major. So that, along with your C major scale and arpeggio, I think is enough for this second lesson. Like I say, try and practice as much as you can. Half an hour a day is absolutely ideal. If you can manage more, that's even better. But try and get half an hour a day in. It's no good missing Monday to Friday out and then doing 4 hours on a Saturday because you're not working. It doesn't work that way. You've got to do a little bit often, every day if you can. Okay, so that's the end of this second lesson. I look forward to seeing you again in the third. Thanks very much. Bye bye.